on Sunday morning. Feel that ache inside my heart. I can hold on any longer.
Hello everyone, welcome to Racing X and another episode of Cross Section brought to you by My Pay Now. I'm Grace Hayden and this is Bella King and we are back together, girlfriend.
We're back.
This girl, she's been traveling all over. Dubai, just shopping away, enjoying the races.
My gosh. I have done too much this last fortnight, but this is my favourite spot right here beside you for a bit of cross section.
Me and you, we just love it. I love our little catch-up
Any
sessions.
excuse to have a yap.
Exactly. Professional yappers over here.
So you were down in Sydney for Champions Day while I was away. Can we please start with how gorgeous your outfit was?
Yeah, so Donnie Galella styled me. He is honestly such a gun. The vision that he brought to me, he sent me a full sketch of this outfit. It started with the By Johnny dress and then Bella Chantillier brought to life a custom-made hat that just fit in perfectly with the same as what the dress looked like, half black, half white. She just killed it. Honestly, so grateful to both of them for bringing the vision to life. But I loved it. I looked very stylish. I never
it was like
black.
Cruella DeVille vibes, which
It
I
was,
love. To me, she was like my
needed my
childhood fashion
Dalmatian.
icon. Literally, we'll source you one for next year.
Yeah,
there
okay,
was
good
so
plan.
many good looks. So
many.
That derby black and white theme is one of my favorites for racing. It's just so sleek and elevated.
Absolutely. It's chic galore. It's
It
just,
is.
I feel like because you don't have a lot of options, I guess, you can either do both black and white if you're an indecisive person like me. You can do just a full white look. You can do just a black look. But honestly, best on ground was Annalise Dallins.
She's
absolutely spectacular. And Bella Chantillier hat as well, but she had black lace in the rim of her white hat. This hat was enormous. Anytime she walked into a room, it was like she couldn't fit through the door because her hat was so enormous. And it was quite windy as well, so we were really grateful. Yeah. So both of us had massive hats on. We were very grateful to our glam team because without them and their pinning jobs, we wouldn't have been able to make it through the day. But she looked so gorgeous. Start by Bloom, Paul Versace, my really good friend.
He always does an immaculate job,
He
doesn't he?
just brings to life a really different look. Yeah. She had a beautiful custom-made dress. It was a black, cinched in at the waist, a nod to the lace of her big hat was up in the top of her dress. She just looked so fabulous. But also her partner, I think he was best on ground with the males.
That's Josh Dacos?
Josh Dacos. He straight from the footy field to the track. But it was a tailored black suiting option. Just looked really elevated.
Yeah, I love it. I love a good little suit on a man. Like when it's just tailored perfectly, they've got the nice tie, the pocket square.
Yeah.
You're just like, that man knows how to dress.
I guess it's hard for guys, to mix it up.
It is.
Like they just don't have the luxury that us girls do to have a fashionable outfit.
No,
but,
exactly.
I think the boys did very well. There was lots of grey as well.
Was there?
Which was interesting. Yeah. Grey suiting with obviously black ties and then white shirt underneath. But I liked those looks too. Lots of the home and away boys lent into the whole grey look.
There looked like there were so many stars on track. So great to see for day one of the championships, just everyone out and about and enjoying Sydney.
Absolutely. Sam Constas was on track.
Ooh.
He was wearing a white suit, black pants. He looked very chic as well. Oh, funny boy, that one. I was sucked in by him and his brothers. We all ended up at the Oak after.
Oh my gosh. I saw the photo of you with him
and
I was just like, this is
he
iconic.
Was like my
cricket fans
brother.
would have been going
nuts. Such a cutie. Yeah, so it was really nice to catch up with him. I feel like it's kind of crazy, the cricket world, even though we haven't met each other in person, we just all connect in some sort of way. It was really nice.
That's awesome. Just full circle.
Yeah. No, it was a great day. And honestly, the amount of buzz in the air at the track was just crazy. Everyone got around. It was a beautiful day in Sydney. Like you couldn't have asked for a better race day. And it was just a great day all around.
Oh, how good, especially with so many Group 1s. You're right in the thick of the autumn carnival, day one of the championships. Everyone's just on a high.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to talk about Dubai, though.
Yes.
You have been a travelling girl this year. Wow, but I want to know highlights.
There were
outside of the races first. Let's
Okay.
go with atmosphere, the what you did shopping wise. I want to hear the lifestyle and then go into the racing.
Okay. There was honestly so much. Like the whole week itself was so spectacular. They actually call it the most spectacular race that you'll ever see.
Wow.
Truly lived up to the name. And everything that they do in Dubai is just extravagant, over the top. Nothing is short of incredible. Like even, this sounds ridiculous, but even all of the Ubers, there's no Toyota Camrys. They're all Lexuses is bottom of the range.
No
Uber.
way.
Like it's something you don't get in
Unheard
Australia.
of.
I know.
Where are the Camrys?
It was just crazy. So we were lucky enough. We landed on Tuesday and then we decided to head down to Old Town, check out the old souks. Then we went down to the new town and just got to see everything. We got to enjoy the beach at Jumeirah, which was amazing.
Wow.
Probably the best place I've ever watched the races from, to be honest. We actually watched a little bit of the Tuesday Group 1 action there. Dubai Honour saluted,
Yep.
so it was a bit of an omen bet there. But yeah, it was a great day exploring the town. And then Wednesday, straight to the track and into it for morning track work. And nothing makes my heart race more than a Dubai sunrise, Middle Eastern sunrise.
Oh,
They're
I
just
bet.
stunning. And being on track as the sun's rising, the sky is just beautiful. Horses galloping past, just
Inner
nothing
element.
makes me happier. They had like crepe stalls and everything on course for the
Oh,
media, coffee
yum.
vans. Like we were spoilt all week. It was
So
truly
good.
incredible. Every event was just so dramatic and over the top, from the barrier draw to the gala dinner. And then of course the race day itself. Yeah, simply blown away the whole week is all I can say.
Now the racing. I know you desperately want to get into it because there's so
I don't
much
know
that
if I
happened.
want to. The whole thing was so emotional.
Yeah.
The whole day, I just don't think I've ever personally been to a race day where you want to cry, you've got goosebumps, you're happy for someone, and the whole thing was just, it was remarkable, honestly. But I firstly want to start out by sending our condolences to John Size and the whole team with How Deep Is Your Love. The horse was actually awarded Best Turned Out Horse on the night for the Alquoz Sprint. And then for the team to return home without their best friend is always tragic, especially for everyone in Hong Kong. Is a treasured horse. So unfortunately, things like this happen in racing and we have to move on. But yeah, I just wanted to send our love to the whole team there. I know that's a massive loss for them.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the rest of the racing, oh my gosh. It was just from there on out, just emotional the whole way. The team and I were closely following Straight No Chaser as he headed to the Dubai Shima. We obviously saw him when we were in Saudi Arabia, and the way that he ran over there, you're just like, God, this horse is a sure thing. And we followed his whole journey into it. And then about a furlong into the race, didn't want to travel, did nothing. Dark Saffron ended up coming. She obviously got her golden ticket to the Breeders' Cup Sprint over in the United States, but that was our first real tragedy for the night racing-wise. And then the Dubai Turf, that was the highlight race for me. Like the rest of the world, I was team Romantic Warrior. Just that race that he had in in Saudi Arabia, we were so relieved to see him split up from Forever Young.
Yep.
You think coming back to Dubai, he had that win in the lead-up race in Dubai. You just think that, again, he's a sure thing. Who can beat him? And watching him come up the straight and trying to hold on against Soul Rush, that was a moment I think that will stick with me for the rest of my life. I was standing beside Danny Shum and Romantic's team as we were waiting for the photo finish, and that decider felt like an eternity. And I turned around just as the decision was made to Soul Rush coming back into the winner's stall and the jockey finding out, and he just let out this screech. And there's like a little wail beside us from Romantic Warriors team.
Really high, riding the highs and lows.
It was
hey?
such
Wow.
a juxtaposition of emotions, like watching, I think it was an Italian jockey get that Group 1 and just meant so much to him and the team in Japan. Soul Rush, I think that was only his second Group 1. So meaningful for them. But then Romantic Warrior put in an absolute gut-buster run to be disappointed by, I think it was like 0.8 of a millimetre. So just nothing. So that was, again, just a real roller coaster of emotions, which also we felt in the feature race, the Dubai World Cup. We all thought, again, Forever Young, he was the sure thing. He's a top-rated dirt horse in the world. The effort that he put into the Saudi Cup was just huge. But I think the way that he raced in the Dubai World Cup, we truly saw just how much of an exertion that race in Saudi was for him. He was just flat. He looked like he wasn't traveling from 300 meters out. And Obviously, the winner was Hit Show, and that was an incredible moment itself, though. Again, I was standing behind Yoshito Yahagi, trainer of Forever Young, and you sort of see his head bow a little bit, and I look to my right, and I can just see this girl with so much emotion on her face, and I've run up to her, and she just starts screeching and screaming, and we obviously captured it for Racing X, if you see it on our socials. It was just such a moment of pure emotion. Again, you were just in a mix of that's the best horse in the world, and then this girl has just won a Group 1 with a treasured horse. And even to add more to the story, EJ, the strapper, that girl that we filmed, her horse last year, Catnip, in the Dubai Turf, broke down, didn't make it home. And then a year later, she's strapping the winner of the Dubai World Cup. So racing is a roller coaster, and we truly lived it that night.
You definitely felt every single moment of that.
I really did. It was... I still get goosebumps thinking about that.
Even
night.
Me, and I wasn't there. Like, that gives me goosebumps.
Yep.
It's just sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it incredible?
This is why we love it.
We're so lucky to have it in our lives because it's so unpredictable. We think that we may be able to predict something, but you just can't.
You can't. It was a truly incredible night of racing, and rounded out by that closing ceremony. It's just iconic. They broke 3 Guinness World Records for the light show, the drones, the whole story of the Middle Eastern love for the horse, and then the story behind Godolphin and its inception. It was truly incredible and lit up the whole night sky. That was just a real highlight. There were so many other great pieces of content that we did throughout the week too. Yeah. We got to catch up with Pat Comerford. We did an interview with him, and then he actually gave us great insight as he called home the Godolphin Mile. So that was a really great piece of content. And on that note, someone who knows Pat Comerford very well is his brother Mick. Mick, welcome back to Cross Section.
Hey Bella and Grace, great to catch up with you here on Cross Section, and I guess I'll start by saying I'm very jealous hearing you talk about the Dubai World Cup. I was there last year watching my brother call, and it was great to see that you caught up with the great man before his big call and got some good access too up in the calling box while the races were on. But there was plenty of racing happening here, especially at Randwick at the ATC for day 1 of the championships. And it all continues again this weekend for day 2 among the UFC and some AFL action from Adelaide for Gather Round. So let's get into a bit of a sports update for all the sport that's happening around Australia this weekend. Well, if you thought like me that day 1 of the championships was absolutely spectacular, then get ready to do it all again from Randwick this weekend. It is day 2 of the championships, and there are 4 more spectacular Group 1s to focus on, featuring some of the best horses on turf in the world. Let's start with the first of the Group 1s. It is race 6, the Australian Oaks, and it is all about Matt Laurie's Treasure the Moment, who has won her last 7 races. 5 of the last 7 have been in group company. The step out to 2400 is nothing new for this star filly, who won the VRC Oaks just this last spring. The only query and the only challenger looks to be Like a Lucy, who has her first start in Australia under the class of James McDonald, who, as we know, can put lengths on horses, which may be enough to cause an upset. Race 7 is the Sydney Cup, which is always a classic, but this year in the 2025 edition, there is no doubt some standout contenders. Alalcance for the Waterhouse Bot team has just continued to win over the staying trips this autumn up in Sydney, but has never seen the 2 mile. Her biggest threat, Zardozi for James Cummings and Team Godolphin, has seen the 2 mile and finished 4th in last year's Melbourne Cup. This preparation, Zardozi has done all but win, no doubt with the Sydney Cup in their sights. Last year's Caulfield Cup winner, Duke de Sessa, looks to be the other major threat, as Kieran Maher looks to make it 3 Sydney Cups in a row, taking Explosive Jack and Circle of Fire to the 2023 and 2024 editions of the race. Race 8 is the feature race of the day. It is the Queen Elizabeth Stakes over 2,000 metres, which has treated the racing fans to some of the most emphatic duels in recent years. Most notably those between the Beast of Britain, Adabe, and Very Elegant, in which Adabe won both of those duels and went back-to-back in the race. Now, we cannot forget last year's winner, Pride of Jenny, who put 30 lengths on the field at the top of the straight to score in an unforgettable performance. Now, there is no Pride of Jenny in this year's edition, but Via Sistina returns after finishing 2nd last year and has drawn the inside barrier, and will have a cavalcade of contenders to fend off, including Dubai Honour, Light Infantryman, Vauban, Chael Wolf, Buckaroo. The list does go on. It is going to be a spectacular race, and I cannot wait to watch it. The last of the Group 1s is the Queen of the Turf, which I myself am very, very excited about, as Team Waller have decided to keep Fangirl at the mile and dodge the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Despite the short quote, this is not going to be a walk in the park for Fangirl, as she will have to face last week's Doncaster Mile winner Steffi Magnetica alongside a Tissue who comes back to the mile from an Australian Cup 4th behind some handy Group 1 company and will look well placed back here with the girls. Day 2 of the championships is no doubt the main event on turf come the weekend, but in terms of sport worldwide, it will have to compete with the UFC, which heads to Miami this weekend for UFC 314, which is a card the entire MMA community, along with the Australian MMA fans, have been waiting for a very, very long time. In fact, it's been 14 months since we last saw Alexander Volkanovski make his way to the octagon. Having lost 3 of his last 4 fights, including 2 brutal knockouts, Volk has taken some time away from the sport to recover, but more importantly, rediscover his fighting purpose at age 36, which is an age that many of the best fighters in the world have found difficult to stay atop their division. Volk will look to reclaim his featherweight title, which he defended 5 times in his last reign, against a fierce competitor from Brazil in Diego Lopes. Lopes is a killer no matter where this fight goes, and coming forward aggressively is a given for the contender come Sunday afternoon. A feature of the contender's style that Volk will no doubt look to use to his advantage as he tries to reclaim that featherweight belt. Best of all, the build up to the main event is stacked to the brim with excitement, including the prelims, which will feature veterans Jim Miller, Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa, who will all look to continue to add to their amazing UFC records. Former title challenger Yan Xiaonan will continue her second quest for gold before Dan Ige and Sean Woodson battle it out on the main event of the prelims in a fight that fills a main card slot on any other night, and it definitely could be the sleeper fight of the night. The main card is truly the best we've seen in a very long time, and light heavyweights Nikita Krylov and Dominic Reyes will kick off the card before Gene Silva looks to continue his rapid rise in the UFC. Former interim champion Yair Rodriguez will welcome MMA legend Patricio Pitbull to the UFC from Bellator for the first time. Before the fight, the fans are all secretly waiting for the most: Iron Mike Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. Will Paddy the Baddie finally go from prospect to contender, or will Chandler be the ultimate gatekeeper at lightweight? Back to the turf now, and it is Gather Round in Adelaide for the AFL, which kicked off last night to set the stage for what is an amazing weekend of sport for the AFL and for the state of South Australia. Here are a few key games to watch out for over the weekend of footy. Adelaide Oval will shine again tonight as 2 of the league's biggest clubs will face off in what should be a blockbuster match. The Pies will be without Jordan De Goey and Lockie Schultz, and for the Swans, well, they've been undermanned since round 0 and will get the first crack to test out Collingwood's depth, a feature that many believe to be their biggest weakness as an early premiership contender in 2025. And if you haven't caught him already, take a closer look at the Sydney Swans VFL pickup, Riley Bice. He is the perfect exhibit of what ready-made VFL players can bring to the league. Sunday afternoon will be St Kilda's biggest test this season in what has been a surprisingly exciting start in 2025. They will take on the class act of Adam Kingsley and the GWS Giants, who absolutely thrashed the West Coast Eagles last week by 14 goals, 9 of those belonging to the big man Jesse Hogan. Jack Higgins may hate the city of Adelaide, but he definitely loves kicking goals there, and this must continue in Gather Round if the Saints are any chance at beating the Giants. The Saints and the Giants is the lead-up game to what should be the most exciting game of the weekend on Sunday night between the Hawks and the Power, which has had the biggest build-up, and for good reason. It is the Jack and Kenny Show 2.0. We all saw what happened in last year's semi-final between the Hawks and the Power, and the bad blood is very much still there. This time around, the Hawks are undefeated and the Power are scraping the barrel, but in games like this, with plenty of feel, anything can happen. Between the footy in Adelaide, the racing in Sydney, and of course the UFC in Miami come Sunday afternoon, it is going to be one of the biggest weekends of sport on the calendar year. Back to you guys, and Bella, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on the Group 1 action in Sydney. I'll be cheering home Fangirl in the Queen of the Turf, and I think Duke de Sessa is a massive chance in the Sydney Cup.
Well, thank you, Mick. We do have so much to look forward to this weekend. Tonight, I'm personally going to be glued to the screen to see if my beloved Pies can overcome their injuries and give the Swannies a run. But the weekend's racing, oh my goodness, my highlight is definitely the Queen Elizabeth. This is just a fabulous race full of exquisite form, if I must say. That might be some big words to describe a race, but I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, Via Sistina, the best horse. If she wins this race, she will surpass Winx's record of 7 Group 1s in a single season. But the most fascinating storyline for me here is to see whether Dubai Honor, who we saw in the Tancred last Tuesday, if he can beat her. I think, twice in recent years, William Haggis's horses have denied our local horses, the Queen Elizabeth. As Mick said, Adabe came over here a couple of years ago, defeated our lovely Very Elegant. And then, of course, Dubai Honor edged out Animo 2 years back. So if Team Haggis can extend their dominance over this race, hats off to them. They're just going incredible. But anyway, that's enough racing talk. Grace, there is so much going on in the IPL world. Let's get into it.
There is so much going on, as you said, in the IPL. There always is. It's forever changing. There's upsets galore. You name it. It's all happening because the best of the best players are in front of the world. They're on the world stage and they are just killing it every single game. But I want to test your knowledge a little bit, Bella.
Oh, why do you keep doing this to me?
I know. Well, you know what? I've just got to keep you guessing a little bit. I'm trying to educate you in the cricket world.
I do appreciate it. I do need
just
to know.
Just like you do for me in the horse racing world.
That's what we're here for.
Tit for tat, Now, orange cap and purple cap, what do you think that stands for?
Well, I was eavesdropping a little bit when you were talking with our producer, Rich. So I know it has something to do with innings or wickets or something. Could not tell you which way around or what the go is.
Okay, so orange cap stands for the highest run scorer of the tournament so far, and purple is the highest wicket scorer of the tournament.
Okay.
And these players have to wear the caps while playing.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting how they all work it out because it's forever changing. There is, as I said before, upset or the underdog coming through, but it's always changing depending on the games that happen that night or that day. It's it's always going to change, especially in the purple cap category. It's just mixing all around. Okay, I want to start with the orange cap first though. Nicholas Pooran, he has been holding fort at the top now for quite some time. He scored 288 runs for his 5 innings so far. Very, very impressive player, dominant, just great eyes, really striking at the ball well with aggression, and he's just super exciting to see.
It'd be so fun to watch a player like that.
Absolutely. Now, obviously it was a double header last night, so Nicholas and Mitch Marsh are on the same team. Mitch Marsh has been in and out of that top 3. But he was holding fort at number 2 spot at 265 runs after LSG played. Mitch Marsh has then moved down to number 3 spot. Nicholas Pooran still stays at top spot. But Bisai Sudasan, he nudged his way to spot number 2 and impressed a lot of people with his performance for Gujarat Titans, getting them the narrow win against Rajasthan Royals.
Very exciting. It's all happening.
I know, right? But I want to move to purple cap because we can't forget about these guys. Noor Ahmed, who is playing for CSK, he's taken 11 wickets off his 5 innings so far. So he's at top spot, number 1, which is really interesting because CSK has really, I guess, taken a little bit of downfall. They've lost their last 4 games now, so they're definitely under a lot of pressure, sitting at 9th spot on the table. So they're really wanting to nudge their way back up to a win in their next game. Now, moving to spot number 2 is Mumbai Indians gun, Hardik Pandya. Now, I don't know, do you know his name? Have you ever heard his name before?
Am I going to get hated on for saying no?
Probably.
I'm sorry, IPL fans. There's too much information in my brain with Australian and overseas racing.
Fair enough. You know what?
All the information just mushes into one.
Well, he is one of India's best bowlers and has been for quite some time now. He is obviously now sitting at number 2 spot for the purple hat tally, but he's taken 10 wickets from his 4 innings. So he's played one less game than Noor Ahmed. And then at spot number 3 is Sai Kishnor. Now he's taken 10 from his last 5. But there's so much competition in terms of, these rankings.
Yeah.
There's Mohammad Suraj and so many more that are just underneath him. So it's always changing depending on the game. And I am just loving seeing the competition.
It sounds incredible. Like, as you touched on, there is so many games they played at such a high frequency with the world's best players. What an interesting contest for you, cricket fans.
Absolutely.
No wonder you're on a high for this whole period.
I know. It just keeps you guessing. You think that a team is gaining that momentum and they're unstoppable, and then something happens, there's an upset, and it all mixes up again.
We're going to go off script here, but I feel like our fans would love to know what the energy is like in the Hayden household when IPL season's on.
Oh, buzzing. I mean, I'm calling my dad every day who's over there being like, Dad, did you see this?
There?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's commentating in the thick of it. I'm going, Dad, can you believe it? He's like, I know. It's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's so fun to share a passion with your family. Obviously, it's what you grew up with, but that's just incredible that it comes down to you.
No, it is really cool. And the fact that he's on ground sharing the insights and fun times with me, and I'm back here, but I'll be over there soon, which I cannot wait for.
Can you tell us what you're doing over there yet, or is it still locked down?
Still locked down, but you'll see.
Stay tuned.
Stay
fans.
tuned. We need to stay tuned on a young player who is playing for Punjab Kings. Now, this I'm going to call my notable moment for the IPL of this week so far. Could change by the back end of the week. Yep. Notable moment by Grace. Keep that in there, Nate. So my memorable moment of the week, and this may change by the back end, just knowing me, but so far, the young gun, Punjab Kings player, Priyansha Arya, he has made himself, I guess, cemented in the history books of IPL. He's joined the very notable list of the fastest scored hundreds ever in the records of IPL history. He's not on the top spot. That still remains as Chris Gale, the legend. But he scored 100 off 38 balls.
Wow. And how old is he, did you say?
24.
Wow. That's remarkable.
He is one aggressive player. I think he scored a duck last game, and then to come back up and, fight through, it's unbelievable just to see the confidence of this young guy. And I want to see him play for Team India, I think. I'm going to put it out there.
Big things to come.
Yeah.
Grace's early predictions.
Early prediction. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I want to talk about the leaderboard just quickly. Gujarat Titans have now moved to the top spot on 8 points, but not far behind is Delhi Capitals, also RCB, Punjab Kings and LSG. They're all on 6 points as well. So it's going to be a fight the whole way through, and I can't wait to be on the roller coaster of a ride.
What a thriller.
I know.
Love it. You've even got me excited about IPL, so you're doing very well.
Yep, next step, just got to get you to watch. Got to convince Luke to get you to watch.
What time is it on? Like this week, all of my, I suppose, overnight energy is into Masters. So
fair enough.
What time is the IPL on?
Well, it's usually the evening, late evening, early hours of the morning. So, I always check the stats the next day. Yep. Masters, well, that's another thing that's going on in sport at the moment, and I would love to go to a Masters.
It looks beautiful. Honestly, I'm not a big golfer. I definitely had a bit of a crash course lesson from Luke last night about Augusta and Masters and how it all works.
Yep.
But just like the course itself, I am blown away by.
Yep.
And then, side note, the Masters TikTok, our producer Rich put me onto that this morning. I'm obsessed. I want to see how more of those little sandwiches are perfectly made. Like, it's just the most ridiculous content that I should not be so interested and invested in.
But you are.
But I am. Like, it's the perfectly cut egg sandwiches and the burgers and like what they had for dinner. I was just like, this is great content that I did not know that I needed.
I love how iconic sporting events have iconic food to match with it. Like things that you just know, oh, that's from the Masters. Like Wimbledon, the chocolate-covered strawberries.
Stop. I would love to do Wimbledon.
Me too.
I didn't know the backstory behind this, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the dinner's called. But so the night before, for Masters, they do a dinner where the victor from the previous year gets to choose the menu.
No way.
Yeah. And so only the previous winners get to go. And then the winner from last year, he picked burgers for the main course, and dinner was like a big baked cookie with a scoop of ice cream.
Stop.
And only one person got 2 scoops of ice cream because he requested it. I wish I could tell you the names and all of it off the top of my head now, but you know,
That's such a cool
I'm
fun
a
fact.
I'm a new golf fan, so I don't have all the info for you. But
So am
just
I,
go to
though.
the Masters TikTok and
Yeah,
have
okay,
a
I'm
look
gonna do
because it's
that.
incredible.
I'm going to do that.
Anyway,
I can't believe you don't play golf.
I have gotten Luke to start teaching me this year.
Mm.
It was a secret side passion of mine. It was,
Well,
I have
that's me too. I'm only just new to it as well.
I have
It's
2
just
hobbies I
cool.
wanted to learn this year, golf and tennis.
Ah, how are
So-
you going?
Yep, I've only done golf lessons.
They're actually really helpful though.
They are.
How high tech are they?
I could not actually wrap my head around the first time I went to the driving range why I could not do anything more than putt a ball. And then having an actual lesson, and I did not realize just how wonky my swing is, and I've got
Same.
no
It's
I've got no
terrifying to
rotation
watch.
on my shoulder. I've got a lot of work to do before I'm at the Masters.
Yeah, you won't be seeing us there next year competing.
No, but I might tag along with you for Live Golf next year.
Yeah, please do.
We should
It's
actually
very
do a
fun
girls'
time.
day at Live
We
Golf.
should.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
watering hole. You don't want to see us coming.
No. Speaking of girls' day, well, girls' night this week, Club 100 at the Gold Coast Turf Club Friday night racing. I am so pumped.
Same. Oh, Gold Coast does night racing so well, so I'm pumped to be there.
Yeah, there's no better place. And with our Club 100 members, we signed a few more up this week, some very exciting members. So head to the Club 100 Racing X Instagram account to check them all out. But we get to meet some new faces, enjoy some night racing under the Gold Coast sky. What's better?
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Cross Section. We've loved sitting down with you, loved being here with the beautiful Bella.
Stop it, Gracie.
We will see you next time for another episode. Catch you later.
Bye.